It couldn't have been more than 20 seconds before I came to. At first, I didn't believe what had happened. Then I looked at what was in my hand. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Who? It was crystal clear. Someone had followed me and turned me into a patsy, a fall guy, a clay pigeon. Whoever had killed Ben Cameron had wanted to pin the blame on me. I was a decoy. What should I do? What could I do? Go to the police? Say I was in love with Cameron's wife and I wanted to ask him for her freedom? While I was there, someone came in and killed him. Would they believe me? Never in a million years they'd figured for the way it looked. They'd claim I came in, we argued, in a fit of anger, I shot him. Wait a minute. Someone on that phone had heard Cameron call out the murderer's name. Richie. Someone had heard the shot. Now, if I could find the person Cameron had been talking to, they might be able to help me, but how? Sasha Cow and Dave Packard. Cameron was probably talking to one of them. Either could have overheard Ben call out the name Richie. But which one? It was a long shot, but what else could you do? I felt as though I were living in a crazy nightmare that made no sense, and it seemed so long since I'd left Mona. I figured I had about 2 hours before the cleaning women would notify the police.
Mr. Larkin. Yes, of course. We've been expecting you.
Who are you?
I'm Lieutenant Brandt, Homicide. We're from Homicide. Come in, Mr. Larkin. Come in.
Mona, I didn't do it. Believe me, I didn't.
Of course you didn't.
How did you find out?
Somebody called headquarters?
Lieutenant Cameron was on the phone when he was killed. He was shot by someone standing directly behind me. Now, whoever Cameron was talking to would have heard him call out the murderer's name. Richie. Whoever was on that phone must have called you.
They said nothing about a Richie.
You don't believe me.
Where have you been the past 3 hours?
Trying to find who Cameron was talking to. Look, I found this message in Cameron's office. Now, I went to see these people.
And?
Well, they couldn't help me.
You admit you were in Cameron's office?
Of course I admit it.
But he didn't kill Ben. He couldn't have. Gil is incapable of killing anyone.
Well, there are fingerprints all over the gun. It'll be easy to find out whose they are.
Lieutenant, they're mine. I was slugged. When I came to, there was a gun in my hand. Now, I wasn't thinking about fingerprints. You'll find them all over the office.
Does that sound like a guilty man, Lieutenant? Would a murderer leave his fingerprints on a gun? Lieutenant, if Gil were guilty, he would never have come back here to see me.
Ready, Mr. Larkin?
I'm coming, too.
Now, we want to talk to him alone. You'd better stay here.
Mona, you stay here. It must have been 2 in the morning when I finished dictating my statement. I told them everything I could remember. I swore to them it was the truth. Then Lieutenant Bryan handed me a cigarette. Lighted it for me, and as I took my first puff, he said,
You know, Larkin, that's as involved a statement as I've ever heard. You don't think you could tell it the same way twice, do you?
I certainly can.
I'd like to hear you try.
All right.
Gil.
Hello, Mona.
They let you go.
Forgive me for coming back. It's late, I know.
Don't be silly. I've been so worried. Come in. What happened?
I told them the whole story. Every move I made.
And?
Seemed to satisfy them enough. Now all I have to do is testify before the grand jury.
Oh, Gil, it isn't fair. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have let you go.
Forget it. I could sure use a drink.
Of course you could. You must be so tired.
Whiskey on the rocks. Please.
I could use one, too.
Thanks. To you.
To you. And all that you've done for me.
To both of us.
To both of us. It's funny, Gil. I don't feel any shock at all about Ben. In fact, I feel guilty for almost feeling glad. Oh, I'm going to be such a different person now. I can live and breathe and feel free again. You're going to be so... Gil, at this hour?
Sorry, I wasn't thinking. Funny, that's the second time I've heard that record tonight. It's quite a coincidence, don't you agree?
I suppose so. I don't know.
It's an old tune. You don't hear it very often.
What's wrong, Gil?
Finding that record is no coincidence. You were playing it tonight when you called Ben.
I called Ben? Oh, no, Gil. Gil, do you know what you just said to me? What's the matter with you? Darling, you're talking to me. I love you. We love each other.
Don't tell me about loving me. You never loved me. Oh, you planned this very well. I was pretty dumb, wasn't I? But it's easy to fool someone who's in love with you. And what a fool I was, believing your story about Ben's beating you, about his physical cruelty. I didn't know Ben. Is that why you picked on me? And did you laugh when I went up to his office like a stupid errand boy because I was concerned about you? I wanted you to be happy. And what did you want from me? A murder charge. And for what? You must have had a reason. What were you after? Your freedom? Ben's money? What were you framing me for?
Richie.
What do you want me to do with him, Angel?
What can we do with him? See, a man that committed a murder would have a guilty conscience. And a guilty conscience could lead to suicide. Couldn't it?
I won't stop him. Come on, Pigeon.
So I forget my coat?
Drop the gun. Put your hands up. Turn around. One murder a night is enough.
Oh, thank heavens, Lieutenant. I don't know what's going on. This man rushed in with a gun, and he... Gently, please. I bruise easily. Don't I, Gil?
Well, Mr. Larkin?
Looks like you figured it just right, Lieutenant.
Afraid I did.
Can I have a second?
Sure.
These are my arrangements. Is it all right if I take them?
Go ahead.